following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show for this January 29th, last Butch and Bob Show for the month of January. And the Butch and Bob Show here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Man, you're all Steelered out today, man. Steeler sweatshirt, Steeler cap.
Fired up for the off season.
Fired up for the off season.
Well,
that's where the Steelers are, doing nothing in all season.
They're getting ready for them. Trying to get under this salary cap. Saw the owner's press conference yesterday, so he's optimistic. So we're in good shape.
Big Ben coming back, or is he going to retire?
Big Ben's coming back for one more year.
One more year? Well, you better work hard to get in shape this offseason, man. He looks like an old man out there, you know. Expect him to use a walker getting back there in the fast.
He's coming back for one final season.
Okay. All right.
He'll be back.
After he'll get with his fitness guy.
He's got to get under the salary cap, and he's not getting the $41 million he's expected to get. So
he's not.
They got to restructure the contract, so they may even extend it. Just
is restructuring mean, dude, you ain't getting as much money as we said you're gonna get?
But they get money up front too. That's why they like to restructure it. You know, they don't get as much as they're expected, but when they restructure it, they get money up front. So
they get a check up front, huh?
Right. They get it right there that day.
Get it now or get it later. He wants to get it now.
Yeah, so they'll restructure it. He'll walk out with about $8-9 million in his pocket and come back for
you get less money in the long run, but you get more money right now.
Hopefully, if they restructure it, they can keep some of these other free agents. They got like 20 free agents on that team. So
wow.
I'm hoping they keep a couple of them. So.
Okay.
But they got to get that. But they don't really know. They said they don't know what the salary cap is right now. The NFL hasn't said what the cap is right now. So once they do that, then they'll start restructuring contracts. So.
Okay.
But the Rooney's do a good job. Kevin Colbert does a good job to draft, so they'll be back.
All right.
People like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll be back.
They'll be back. All right. I heard on the Georgia News Network Sports this morning that a 5-star quarterback that was committed to South Carolina has now changed his mind and is coming to Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Quarterback or corner?
I thought he said quarterback. Quarterback. You know, one of the guys that throws the ball? You want me to play the sports for you so you can hear it?
I guess
it's only a minute long.
They already got their quarterback. They got Vandergriff. So
all right, let's make sure that I'm correct here, okay? Because I have been known once or twice in my life to be wrong. So let's play this right here and see what they say about. It's only a minute long. We'll be right back with Bob and I talking. Hold on.
Garrity, GNN Sports. It'll be at least another 2 weeks before Chris Dunn returns to the Hawks after his ankle surgery. He has yet to play for his new team, which is 7th in the East of the 500 mark through 18 games. And Trae Young feels they are developing that winning mentality.
I mean, at this point, we feel like we can be in the mix. We feel like we can be in the mix with some of these top teams, and never going to just look at an opponent any differently. For us, we're going to just go out there and believe that we should win each and every game.
The Hawks visit the slumping Wizards tonight. The ACC putting out their football schedules for 2021. Georgia Tech starts at home against Northern Illinois September 4th. They also have home games with Kennesaw State, North Carolina, Pitt, Duke, Virginia Tech, Boston College, and Georgia. The Bulldogs have picked up a commitment from 5-star quarterback Gunnar Stockton, who had been committed to South Carolina. That's sports, and I'm Frank Garrity with the Georgia News Network.
All right, there it was, Bob. Isn't that good? Picking this up, a 5-star quarterback stole him from the Gamecocks.
I just know how many quarterbacks you got.
How many quarterbacks do you have to have also? Let me tell you, I just love our listeners out there. Breaking. Now somebody just texted in the information on Gunner. What a name, Gunner. A quarterback named Gunner. Is that apropos or what? I guess got to be a nickname.
That's a quarterback.
See, they're calling him a 6-star quarterback. Is he 5 or 6? Where's I just can't read correctly. 5-star quarterback Gunner Stockton commits to UGA.
5 stars.
And this says over Auburn, and it said South Carolina in the other. So maybe South Carolina. It don't matter where he was going. I'm just glad he's coming to Georgia and that we're getting Gunner. Gunner can gun that ball. Looks good, man. Well, he's got that long blonde hair like Clemson quarterback does. So Gunnar Stockton. Real dog fans know about this yesterday. Well, we knew about this yesterday, but we're just talking about it this morning. So, let's see here. See what everybody's saying here. Real Dog fans knew about this yesterday. Well, not necessarily. I mean, you know, I'm a Real Dog fan. You're a Real Dog fan. We did know about it yesterday. Yeah.
I thought Vandegrift was going to be his next quarterback.
I have no idea, Bob. I scored, and whoever gets in there and wins, maybe it'll be Gunner, maybe it'll be the other guy. I don't know.
We'll take all we can get.
Okay. All right.
At least they're on the sidelines for us. They're not playing for somebody else. So I guess that's the philosophy for Kirby.
Okay, he's a 2022 grad next year class.
Next year class.
Next year class. Well, then there's a lot can happen between now and then. Sheesh. I mean, until I see the name on the dotted line there, that don't mean nothing. I know. I just love that name for a quarterback, Gunner. Gunne, a Gunner. Gun that ball. Fired downfield for the touchdown.
I'm just glad JT Daniels decided to come back for another year or so.
Yeah, JT's going to be back. You need experience. You can have that good talent, but you need some experience too. We were talking yesterday about that that guy there in Brunswick at the Brunswick Sound doing those videos of the cutting of the ship out there in the Sound that's been turned over for over a year. It's called Minor Can. Minor Can. When I saw it, Minor Can Mullet's the name of the guy. Goes out there in his boat and does videos and puts them up on YouTube and wants you to subscribe to his videos there. And
make money.
Yeah, he wants to make money because the more hits he gets, the more money that he'll make. But it looks like a big arch over the ship, a big tubular arch, huge structure. I mean, just absolutely huge to go over it because when they cut it, you know, they still got to hold the part that's still in the water, then they got to pick up the part they cut off and put on that little barge that takes it to the port of Brunswick. And then one of these days they'll put it on big old barges and go around Florida with it over to Louisiana so it can be cut up to scrap metal.
Buddy Carter's going to stop by studio Tuesday on the Butch and Bob Show, so we get an update from him.
You going to stop by?
Yeah.
Actually going to have him here?
Yep.
All right.
Going to be in the studio. He's going to be in town Tuesday.
So it'll be interesting what he has to say about all these executive orders that President Biden has been doing. See what he thinks about them.
Well, I know he's been following that event down in St. Simons.
Yeah, he has been following that down there.
So he should have an update for us. They started the third cut. There's 7 cuts in all.
Yeah, they started
the third. So,
okay.
But I'm just not that intrigued by it personally.
Well, it's never seen it before. It's never been around. It's right in our backyard. I mean, you got this huge, transformer-looking structure sitting out there. You keep expecting to see that big structure out there in the Sound of Brunswick change into a huge robot. The thing's so big. All these yellow tubular arch thing over that huge ship out there with, thousands of cars sitting there just waiting to be salvaged. I mean, it's an event.
You can't salvage them.
You salvage them. You take them over to Louisiana and they rip them up into parts of sparks.
Maybe use the parts.
Parts of sparks. Yeah. They'll take and use all that metal from the ship and the cars and everything else. They'll go into something else. Maybe cars made in the future from that metal, from all that. You never can tell. Some will be made from it. They'll sell that scrap metal and make some money. But quite an event going over there. It's just this ominous-looking thing there in the Sound of Brunswick. It's like this huge alien robot arch sitting there in the Sound, looking over Brunswick and St. Simons and Jekyll, keeping an eye on things. And then you got all these little boats around it, taking videos and watching and sightseeing and that kind of stuff. It's an event, Bob. It's an event.
You say so.
It is. Well, Bob, I went and got my COVID shot yesterday, my first vaccine shot yesterday at Walmart. And I've got my official, right here, hold it up to the camera, got my official COVID-19 vaccine record card. Says that Charles Hubbard got his first dose of COVID-19, the Moderna. And I got it yesterday, and I got to go back in about 4 weeks and get my second shot. Nothing to it, Bob.
Any side effects?
No, exactly. My arm's a little sore, but that's any shot you get, you're going to have a little sore, and not much at all. It's only sore if I hit it or lay on it or whatever the case may be. But just sitting here, I'm not aware of the fact that I got a shot. But, I got there, and as usual, when you go and see, something like this, you got to fill out a lot of paperwork. They want to know kind of a brief questionnaire there of medical history. You know, we'll make sure you don't have any reaction to it or what your medical history may be. So you got to put yes, no, yes, all, and all that, and fill out some stuff. And they ask you some questions. They take your temperature, and then you wait for the shot. And you go into this little room, and the pharmacist comes over there with this, 6-foot-long needle. And no, it just wasn't that big.
They say it's a long needle. That's what I heard.
I really didn't take a look at it, Bob. It looked, it still had the plastic thing over the end of it.
Did they ask you which arm you wanted to have it in?
No, I just went ahead and pulled up the old. I just went ahead and pulled up my left sleeve here, and he shook it up real good, and then stuck the needle down there, pulled it out, and then put the liquid in that clear liquid in tomorrow.
How long did you have to sit there after they give a shot?
They want you to stay around. I didn't have to sit there, but they want me to stay around the pharmacy area for about 15 minutes to make sure there was no reaction. The CDC requires that they tell folks that they stay around. Now, it's up to you whether you want to stay around or not, okay? I mean, there's not any COVID police there or anything, but, the good thing to do is do what they advise, to stay around the pharmacy area, stay wherever you are for about 15 minutes to make sure you don't have any type of reaction. So I used that time to do a little shopping, and then hung around there, and then after 15 minutes, I waved to the pharmacist, so he waved to me, and I went on. And but I was talking to Misty yesterday. She called me from Misty's Pharmacy. Okay, we mentioned the fact I mentioned yesterday that my dad and his wife Mary had their COVID shots at Misty's Pharmacy in downtown Jessup. And Misty said the way they set that up is they asked their customers when they came in, the ones that are that they knew they were above the age of 65, if they wanted to get a COVID shot, if they did, sign up for it, and they'd call for an appointment date, and that's what they did. And so that's what we're doing at Misty's Pharmacy. So that's another place that you can get, if you're in that first group, which if you're over the age of 65, and if you want to get a COVID shot, you can call Misty's Pharmacy. They'll put you down on the list, and when they get a next batch of COVID vaccine in, they'll give you a call and set up a day. Okay? So Misty just wanted everyone to know that they can get their COVID shots at Misty's Pharmacy, and all you got to do is call and put your name on the list, and they will give you a call when the next batch of vaccines come in, which he expects to be soon.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I sent a text message to my son Matt yesterday when I got through. I said, well, I just got my first of my COVID shots. I'll get another one in about 4 weeks. I said, it makes me feel old to think that I'm in the first group of people that are able to get vaccine shots, Yeah. Well, we got to do it to the old folks and the persons on the front line and the people at risk. And I'm in that first group, Bob, because I'm 66. Except for my back, I don't feel that old. My back does. My back feels like it's 150, but the rest of me feels fine. But it just makes me feel old to think that I'm in that first group. The first group of folks that are eligible to get shots, I'm there, and I did. Somebody wanted to know when will I get my second shot, somewhere around the 25th of February, in that area. And was it worth it? I hope so. Is it? It's worth it, though. Yeah, it is worth it. It's worth it when after I get my second shot and vaccine gets going flowing through the body, to know the fact that I've got a better chance of not getting COVID than it was beforehand. But they give you the sheets. There's about 5 pages of instructions, legal stuff, answers and questions about the Moderna vaccine. But this concerned me a little bit here when I read this. It said, what is the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine? The Moderna COVID-19 vaccine is an unapproved vaccine that may prevent COVID-19. There is no FDA-approved vaccine to prevent COVID-19. The FDA has authorized the emergency use of Moderna COVID-19 vaccine to prevent COVID-19 in individuals 18 and older. So it was approved for emergency use, but it didn't go through all the drug procedures that other drugs do with the FDA. But they had to approve it in some sort of way because they're giving out thousands of shots every day all over the country. So I just rolled the dice and took the chance. It's the same way with the Pfizer one. The Pfizer one, if you got it, would be saying the same thing. They just got them out quickly because you got to get these vaccines out quickly to try to stop the spread of the COVID. But it was approved for emergency use. Okay. You were not one of the first ones to get the shot because of your age. It's because you are an essential worker, Butch. Oh, yeah, I said, yeah, I'm a radio announcer. Yeah, oh, yeah, Butch, we're going to put you right at the top of the line there, man. You're a radio announcer. Yes, sirree. Yeah, you're an essential worker. It's because of my age.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, they don't put radio and TV people at the front of the line.
I don't think essential workers are for, healthcare nurses.
Yeah, the frontline workers are the ones that were very first.
Essential people that aren't in the front line. So.
Yeah, but then people age 65 and above are, part of that, the second part of that first group. Okay? Yeah, there's a lot of healthcare workers out there that have already had their first and second shots and stuff like that. And then, like I said, I'm looking forward. I've told the pharmacist there that I'm tired of living like a hermit, and he said he gets that comment a lot every single day from people that are getting these shots. And I'd like to say thank you to the pharmacists out there, no matter what pharmacy it may be, that are giving these shots, because they have to take time away from filling prescriptions to walk over there into the room or wherever you may be and give you your shot and talk it over with you and things of that sort. So, they're taking time out of their busy schedule to do that. I just say thank you to the pharmacists out there that are doing this, and to all the healthcare workers that are giving these shots and looking after everyone. But it was a very simple process, and looking forward to getting that second shot and having it done, and hopefully that will prevent me from getting COVID-19. I just known too many people out there who've gotten it, and they have just... It's been bad. They've gone through. Some people have, just kind of eased through it, but other people have really, it's knocked them for a loop. They've been in the hospital. They've been on oxygen. We've all known people who have died from it. So just can't wait until the vaccine gets out there. I think President Biden said by the end of the summer that pretty much everybody who wants to get the shot will have it. But there's a lot of folks out here who don't want to take it, just for the reason I just said right there, that it's not, some people don't feel like it's been tested enough. Some people just don't believe in vaccines, Some people don't get the flu vaccine every year because they don't, other people just don't get vaccines at all because they don't believe in them. And that's your individual choice, whether you want to do that or not. Some folks will have to get the vaccine shot, whether they want to or not, because of jobs. Traveling from state to state or across the world or going into certain areas, that will require you to have proof that you've got the vaccine shot. So some people who may not want to take it will have to do it because of their jobs over the next several months. So that was it. Easy, simple, and I'm glad I did it. And looking forward to the day that all this is gone. We really thought last March, by the time that we got into this year, that it would be behind us. And it's not. It's growing faster than ever right now. And you hear about they've got a new strain coming from South Africa. We got 2 cases in South Carolina from 2 people who they have no idea who they got it. Not any deadlier, just like the ones from Britain. It's just a little more contagious. The different strains of it going on out there right now as it's adjusting and adapting like a lot of viruses do. You ever gotten the flu shot before, Bob?
Get it every year.
You get it every year.
Misty gives it to me every year. I wouldn't want her to give me the COVID shot. She does
get Misty to give you the...
Misty gives the flu shot.
Yes, sir. And I did what I preached yesterday, which was, don't tense up. I didn't look at them, at the pharmacist giving me the shot. Roll up my sleeve and that kind of stuff and just turn my head away because, when you see it go in, your physical reaction is to tense up. And the more tense your muscles are, the more it's going to hurt afterwards for days. So I was nice and relaxed. I didn't even feel hardly the shot go in at all, at all. Let's see here. Will teachers, bus drivers, and other school employees be the next wave of COVID vaccine? I think so, because when I was there talking to the lady there at the pharmacy, a woman was there saying, can I set appointment up for my daughter? She's a teacher. And they said, yes, but you're going to have to go online to do that, and it'll be the next wave or something like that. So Yeah, but just check with your health professional on that. I don't know for sure what all that is, but just check with your health professional on that. So when you're not 60, you're not 65 yet, Bob. So when the time comes up, you're gonna go ahead and tell Misty you want to get on the list down there, and so you can get your shot.
What's available? I said I'm just not in that first wave, so
yeah,
patiently waiting.
Patiently waiting, huh? Some of the Hollywood heavyweights out there are using their influence and money to go ahead and get the COVID shots.
I heard reports of that. I heard people were selling their appointments. But I know you could do that. But
how can you sell an appointment? Because when you're sitting there in front of the healthcare professional who's giving you the shot, they'll look at you, whether you're 60, over 65 or not, and that's not your name, because your name has to match up with my name had to match up with what was called in for the appointment that was on my Medicare card, insurance card, and all that. That's who's paying for this first round for folks 65 and above is Medicare. So I had to give them my Medicare card so they can build a government. I don't know how much they get per shot, and I don't know what people who don't have Medicare who are below the age of 65. I don't know how they will. I guess they're private insurance. I didn't know the government and all that was charging for the. I thought the government was paying for all the shots, but I don't know when it gets to the folks who. Maybe somebody can text in that got a shot who, like the frontline workers and stuff like that, police, firemen, nurses, healthcare professionals. Most of them are not 65 or above, so I don't know if their insurance paid for it. I mean, most of those folks are part of an insurance group with the cities or the counties or the state or whatever, so maybe that's what paid for it. But it does take a lot of time away from the pharmacists, so just hats off to them for doing that at pharmacies. They'll do it. But, you can go on Walmart.com and check it out for the next round, or you can just call Misty's Pharmacies down there, and they'll set you up and put you on the list if you're in this first group, age 65 and above, and go ahead and set up your appointment if you'd like. Okay.
I'm more excited getting to 62 so I can move up in the T-box. It's only a few months away.
They've got a senior citizens spot. What are you going to be? You going to be teeing off where the women tee off now, Bob, on the golf course?
I just know that you move up.
You move up a few feet at 62.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, bless your pea picking heart. I mean, yeah, just
might help.
It might.
Looking to improve my game, so. Several people I play with said says it will definitely help. So,
I didn't know they had a place for senior citizens like that.
Yeah, they got different tees for
I know they got
ages.
one for the men and the women, but I haven't played golf in like 20 years.
62, you move up to the tee. So
you move up.
So a few months away.
Yeah, but you go off the tee box. Then you don't want to tee off. You got to be on the tee box. You have to move to the one in front of it, but you'll be the women's one. Right?
There's different markers.
There's different markers.
There's whites and then just
Oh, okay. So you're going to move up.
You move up.
You're going to move up those 6 feet, huh?
Right.
That 6 feet's going to make all the difference in the world of Bob's golf game.
Some it's more than 6 feet. So. I'm counting the days.
You're counting the days. Huh. That's one I've never heard anybody in my life, Bob, say they can't wait to get to 62 so they can tee off from the senior tee off.
When you're 61, it's not that far. It's not that far.
I can't wait to get 62. I can get move up a little bit, tee off there on the golf course.
That's what I'm waiting for.
That's what you're waiting for. Okay. All right. Sounds fine. Well, good luck with that. All right. Anything going on this weekend? Anything at all?
I'm looking forward to watching the Senior Bowl, watching Jamie Newman, see what he, like I said, I was all that anticipation. He was coming to Georgia, and they had him penciled in as a starter, and then he opted out. So I want to see how talented this kid is. They say he's pretty talented. So it'd be interesting to see how far where he goes in the draft, where he's in the pecking order among all the quarterbacks coming out.
Right.
Lawrence and the Alabama quarterback and other quarterbacks. So a lot of teams look for quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks on the move, though, in the NFL. Like I said, Stafford and Deshaun Watson's demanding a trade. So this is going to be interesting. I think Clay Travis went it down. He said there's probably only 5 teams right now in NFL to know who their quarterback's going to be next year.
Wow.
Everybody else is looking to move and change quarterbacks. So
amazing.
It's going to be interesting offseason for sure. But
people just don't stay put anymore.
I'm curious to see how this Jamie Newman kid looks out there at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. See what they have to say about him.
He took that year off, right? Because of COVID?
Right. That's what
Not him personally, but his family.
In the interview process, they're talking to him. They keep bombarding him. Why did he leave? Why did he leave? He's saying that the main reason he left was a family member was affected deeply by the COVID thing, and his family got together and decided it was best for him to get off campus and get ready for the draft. So
okay.
That's what he said. So
hopefully he's been staying in shape and keeping his skills up during the offseason.
We'll find out Saturday. Be interested, but I'm just curious to see how high he goes in the draft.
All right. Somebody just texted in and says healthcare COVID vaccines are covered under the CARES Act by the government. That's what I thought. So it's CARES, the CARES Act. The government is. I thought it would. I wasn't 100% sure. I knew a CARES Act was passed, but I didn't know who all was eligible and all that kind of stuff. But that's taking care of the expense of, apparently, from what someone just texted in, on the expense of getting the COVID shots. Well, Bob, anything else on your mind this morning before we head out of here?
Just looking
Before you head out of here, I'll still be here.
Looking forward to the weekend.
All right. Well, Bob, have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, brought to you by Local Boys Construction, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, and First Southern Banks.
World famous Butch and Bob Show.